Jordan, hi, Jim Delapine here. I want to give you some suggestions with regards to your character. This looks really good. It's a little tall, so I'm going to make some suggestions to you, but I see that you did a wonderful job on all your layer masks. And so if I right click on this layer mask for this and disable it, I can see that you have the original photo here, so that's all great. So I want to just talk about how to avoid these different elements looking like they're just floating on top of it, of everything else, and make it look more attached or intertwined or connected. Okay, so here's one example of what you can do here. So I'll just reposition these eyes just for the heck of it, and I'll just move this here. All right, so let's just say you have that. Okay, so if we go to the layer mask, and here's a little tip here. If you have the move tool selected and auto select checked, wherever you select, click on a part of the image, it's going to go right to that layer. So it'll automatically select that layer. It just makes it easy to look for things. So for example, with this eye here, all right, the flower eyes, I'm going to select the layer mask. I'm going to go to my paintbrush tool. I'm going to make sure that I'm at 100% hardness, okay? And then I can use the right or left bracket key to increase or decrease my brush size. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, and so we have this here active. So with the layer mask active now, and black is the foreground color, I'm going to click and drag here. All right, so I'm just clicking and dragging and making this look like, I'm going to make it look like it's behind this petal. All right, so I went a little bit too far. So, well, actually, this is probably not the best way to do it. But if I make white now my foreground color, I can and get a smaller brush size. I can zoom in and start to bring that element back in, and I'm following the edge of the petal. So I can also, let me get a smaller brush size, I can also click and then shift click. My shift key's held down so that as I scroll along, it just makes it easier on the hand. All right, so that's the basic idea. I would do a cleaner job than I did. All right, so now it looks like it's tucked behind the petal. So now we'll go to this one here, do this. Now here's another way of doing this. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to hide that flower. I'm going to go to my lasso tool, and I'm going to click. I'm going to click and start dragging, and then hold down the Alt key or the Option key from the Mac, and I'm going to click, click, click along the edge of the shape of the petal. Okay. Then I'm going to hold my cursor down, drag around, my Alt key still held down, and then when I get here, I'm going to let go of my mouse and the Alt key, so I have a selection. Okay, so now I'm going to hide, I'm going to show this flower again. All right, so this is the basic idea. When you fill the layer mask with black, it masks it or hides it. So I'll make black my foreground color, make sure the layer mask is active, and then I'm going to hit Alt or Option Delete for the shortcut for filling. All right, so I've just filled that part of the layer mask with black. All right, so that's another way of doing it. All right, so now it looks tucked behind there, and now it makes sense. Okay, so now for this, I mean, you want to basically shorten this. So I would select. I'll go to my Move tool, and let's see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different layers here. So I'm going to click on this and Control click. Control Shift click. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. Shift click. Yes. Shift click each one of these elements here. So I have all 4 selected. And then I can. Oh, that's part of that. Interesting. Wait a second. Let me just. Maybe not. Nope. I was wrong. Yeah, I accidentally clicked that part. So now you can shorten Grace by doing that. I noticed that stem is there, so you're going to have to get rid of that. So I'll bring this up to about here. Okay. So now if I click back on this flower, this stem is extending down here. You're going to select the layer mask, go to black, and then basically mask that part out. Well, though you did want that there. Okay. So here's what you're going to do. All right, this is going to sound a little complicated, but it's really not. Okay. you're going to hide that portion, right? Selecting the layer mask, hide this portion, okay? Then you're going to duplicate this layer, okay? Control J will duplicate a layer as long as nothing's selected. So now you have a duplicate. All right, so this layer is on top, it duplicates. So now I'm going to select the layer mask for this top layer, all right, and then with white as my foreground color, I'm going to reveal what's underneath. Well, actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this over. I just want to use this stem for the legs, okay? So whatever you decide there, so I'll move that there. I may want to hide this bottom layer, and then I basically want to hide everything else. All right, so I'm going to hide all this, and that. Shut right along. Okay, and now when I show this bottom layer, okay, so now this bottom portion is separate. All right, so now you can go in there and you know, just make this a little cleaner here. You have, you know, always with the layer mask, make sure that this background is cut out nicely, because once you fill the background with black, you want to make sure that there's nothing that will interfere with the background image that you bring in next week. Okay, so now it's a matter of moving these petals here. And these are kind of weird little feet, but you can have fun with these. Maybe angle one. I'm sorry, not angle, but rotate. I don't know. Maybe find thinner stems that connect here. Okay. So let me just hit enter. All right, now you have this to this here. So I would just move these in different positions here. You may want to vary this a little bit. So for example, what I'll do is I'll rotate this. Watch what I'm doing here. I'm taking the center point, dragging it here, and then rotating around that center point. So change your arm position so they're not perfectly horizontal. And then you can, there's no layer mask here, so what you'll do is create the layer mask for that, and then paint with black to hide a portion of that, so it's a little different. All right, to make it look like it's connected to the stem. You know, I'll leave that up to you. All right, so yeah, having this in the right position would be important. Okay, and I think, you see, I messed this up here, but I moved this down, so this kind of got messed up. So you just have to, I would just position this, but you get the idea. Okay. All right. So yeah. So you need to do that, and I would take maybe a little stem here to connect this part to the feet, whatever you decide. All right. But otherwise, good job. Okay. Hope that helped.